Stranger Things is one of my favorite shows of all time, alongside millions of other people around the world. And just like with those millions of people around the world, I have been waiting with bated breath for this 5th and final season for 3 years, and now it's finally here. Now, originally, this video was going to be just a general review of the first 4 episodes, but I quickly decided that it wouldn't be fair to judge the merit of a season on its first 4 episodes, because, you know, while I liked these first 4 episodes, what if the rest are really bad? Or what if I didn't like these first 4 episodes and the rest were really great? It just wouldn't be fair. It just started, right? So this video is just going to be just general thoughts and theories, but I am going to be talking full spoilers, just warning you ahead of time. So stick around, stay a while, and let's talk about Stranger Things Season 5, Volume 1. So it has been 3 years since the absolute peak cinema that was Stranger Things Season 4. In that finale, spoiler alert, our main cast does lose the conflict, and the Upside Down just cracks Hawkins in half, and that's where we were left, just knowing that. Going into Season 5, we see how that culminated, what the result of that was. And it's that Hawkins is now in a military quarantine, which is actually a theory that I did have, that would happen to Hawkins. It just narratively makes sense that would happen. And I really love that despite this problem being centralized and localized to just Hawkins, it feels large scale, with the main cast getting supplies smuggled into Hawkins from Murray. It just feels a lot bigger than it actually is. It makes Hawkins feel like this really important location because it is. And that really impresses me. And then we have each individual cast member just kind of going through their own stuff. Eleven is training in these obstacle courses that are given to her by Joyce and Hopper, getting herself stronger and faster to do these things called crawls into the Upside Down. And she's getting stronger, or at least she feels like she's not, and she's pushing herself a bit too hard. Now, when it comes to Hopper and Eleven in these first 4 episodes, it kind of makes me laugh. They're spending a lot of time together in these episodes, which is really refreshing considering they weren't spending that much time together in Season 4, considering Hop was in a Russian prison and all that stuff, right? But it's especially funny because their dialogue is just so telegraphed.
Elle, I'm just so hard on you because I'm worried I'm going to lose you like I lost Sarah. She was a fighter, just like you are, and I can't lose you too. And you mean a lot to me, Hop. I can't lose you either.
One of us is gonna die. Yeah. It's ridiculous. One of them, if not both of them, are gonna die. They're laying it on really thick. And as much as I love this show, its writing can be good, but it's never been that smart, really. So the fact that they're telegraphing this so hard just makes sense. It's just par for the course for this show's writing. If I had to put money on it, honestly, between Hopper and Eleven, I'd put it on Eleven, because she also has, just like how she and Hopper were having these back and forth, heart-to-heart moments consistently in the Upside Down, she also has one with Mike, and Mike is talking about how everyone would be in this ideal dreamscape of a place, and everyone just gets to live happily, and that would be his idea for him and Eleven. And, you know, Eleven has this moment where she, you know, just stares at him with resolve as he's saying it, and to her it sounds like a really good idea, but with that look in her eyes, it's as if she knows that what Mike wants can be attained, just maybe not with her involved. I think Eleven knows what her place is in all of this, and that she has to be the one that's going to stop it, possibly in a self-sacrifice, which I think is going to happen. But what is going to be done with Eleven in this season is going to be interesting to see it unfold, because during the whole time that she and Hopper are in the Upside Down, Eleven is getting this sense of a powerful signal from behind a door in this military base that is now in the Upside Down, or a lab, rather, sorry. And this entire time, you're believed for it to be number 1 or Vecna, right? And they get behind that door, and it's number 8 from The Lost Sister in season 2. And that's going to be really interesting to see what comes of that, especially because in the season 4 flashbacks, she was nowhere to be found, and now all of a sudden they're just bringing her back. So we'll see how they justify that. I don't know if they really, in that episode of The Lost Sister, if they really got into too much on how number 8 escaped or when she left or whatever. So let's hope that they can pull it off. I have faith that they will, but what 11's place is going to be and how she's going to go about doing the self-sacrifice or how her arc is going to turn out could be pretty interesting with number 8 around. Now, I want to talk about Dustin a little bit. Dustin has been my favorite character since season 1. I love that he was the goofball of the party. I think Gaten Matarazzo's performance as Dustin is pitch perfect, is perfectly casted as the character. But one thing that did stand out to me about Dustin is that despite him being my favorite character, I can admit that he didn't really change much throughout the season up until about season 4. And here in season 5, after holding Eddie in his arms and seeing Eddie die, he's become very sullen, very angry, he's very lost. And it just makes sense. And I love that he's being progressed in this way. I kind of wish he got this progression a little bit sooner, but they're really writing him very well. A testament to this writing, how good it is there is a episode in one of these 4 episodes where the basketball jocks from season 4 are, bullying Dustin as they were before. And Dustin gets back at them with a prank involving a snake. Later on, Dustin goes to Eddie's grave where they have vandalized his tombstone, and he sees that the vandalization is actually with blood from the snake. And the basketball jocks show up, they have some exchanges, and they beat him up really bad. And because of Dustin's actions, you may or may not think that he, deserved that. But it's pretty bad, and it's actually so bad that he doesn't show up after a while, and I was concerned for him, like someone would be concerned for like their little brother or something. That's how well written these characters are and how well written this show is. But with Dustin, I think, I don't really know where this change could lead to. I really hope that he gets a really big hero moment. Gaten Matarazzo has said before that he has like this vision of how Dustin's character will end, and that's that he dies too. He's pitched it before, and I don't know, like it'd have a pretty big impact, but I don't think that would be right for Dustin. I don't want to see that happen. A quick thought that I forgot to actually bring up when I was talking about 11 is, while my money is on 11 dying between her and Hop, Hop has a pretty good chance of kicking the bucket too. Because they did that fake out. And of course, you had those moments, like I mentioned, with 11, right? That is pretty much just foreshadowing that one or both of them is going to die. And despite my money being on 11, there's a pretty good chance it could be Hopper too. Because they had a fake out with him where, before they revealed that number 8 was behind that door when we thought it was Vecna, he has a device strapped to him, a exploding device. I don't know what I could say, so I'm just gonna call it an exploding device strapped to his chest, and it's very clear that he's willing to just take himself out for the good of the mission. And while it was a fake out and it didn't go through with it, I think it clearly shows that Hopper is willing to die. With each season, whenever they bring up Sarah and you see just how much darker of a character he becomes, I think it's kind of clear that he wants to. He wants to go. And it's so tragic. I'm really liking this story so far that season 5 has begun with, the central conflict. It did worry me at first. It did worry me that it was going to be just season 1 again, but bigger, because it just focused on Holly for a minute, and then Holly was then taken, but then it got a bit more interesting when it showed that the other children of Hawkins were also being affected. They were being charmed and taken in by this Mr. Whatsit, aka Vecna, aka number one, aka Henry Creel.
A.K.A. Leonidas Stavros, A.K.A. the Greek Butcher, A.K.A. the Greek Baker, A.K.A. the Greek Candlestick Maker, A.K.A.
Yeah, when that started happening, I kind of perked up a little bit, like, okay, I should let you cook a little bit. Let's see where this goes. And when it gets to the fourth episode, when they're all just taken with nobody wins. Well, the main cast wins in a way, but I'll get to that in a second. But when they essentially lose these kids to Vecna, I woke up and I was like, oh, okay, what's gonna happen? I have no idea where this could go. And it's got me really intrigued now. But now that I mention it, now that I've mentioned season 4, let's talk about the big thing, okay? Let's talk about Will. So, Will has powers now, which, you know, I have to say, I think that, it surprised me, it shocked me. I'm not going to say I saw it coming all along, but when you think about it and you think back to, you know, Will's past in this show and the way the beats have been going and the experiments and everything, it makes sense that Will is getting powers. Not right now, but it definitely makes sense that he has them. I feel like this is something that they should have done maybe in season 4, maybe. I don't know, but it was a cool moment, and I'm glad to like finally see it happen, because I feel like Will needed something like that, and it's fantastic that he got to have his big glory moment like that. And at this point, only 2 members of the cast have seen it, Joyce and Mike. The others have no idea what happened. That these Demogorgons that were attacking them just floated up in the air and just all started snapping, and they have no idea why, except for Joyce and Mike. And what are they going to do? Are they going to keep it under wraps? Are they going to tell them right away? I don't know. I guess we'll see, but man, it was a cool moment, and Noah Schnapp looked cool doing it, honestly. So far, Season 5 is building up to be pretty big and interesting, and I think by the time it's all over, emotions are gonna be destroyed both narratively in the show and with us. We're definitely gonna see some people go that we don't want to go, and man, we're gonna need a lot of support at the end of it. Personally, myself, I am gonna go to the theatrical series finale. I think that warrants it. I think it warrants to be seen on the biggest screen possible. And honestly, if they weren't going to do that, I probably would have just rented out a theater and logged into my Netflix account and just did it that way. Because it just, I don't know. I feel like that's what it deserves. Honestly, season 4's finale deserved that too. But this really needs to happen on the big screen, I think. And I'm really excited to see that. But before then, we got some plot threads to unravel, and it's going to be interesting to see how they all do. What's going on with number 8? What's going on with Will? I have a small theory there, and I'm going to drop it here. I'm not going to expound on it, but I'm going to put it out there. What if Will becomes the new Vecna? Let's chew on that for a little bit. Okay, so let me know what you thought about these first 4 episodes down in the comments. Tell me what your theories are. Let's talk everything Stranger Things, Netflix, and how Karen Wheeler is Mother of the Year. And I'll see you in the next one.
I've seen what's coming, and no disrespect meant, but you and your men can't protect shit!